Let's do it.
Hello.
Back.
We are back.
Restart that. I might just keep that in the pod, man. And we're back. We're back. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Friday.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Friday.
All right. So, hello, financial warriors. It's that time of the week again. Welcome to another exciting edition of Fi Friday Feedback on the Fi Guys podcast. Today, we're not just looking back at the pearls of wisdom dropped on our previous episode, but we're also diving deep into your burning questions. Our inbox is buzzing with curiosity, and we're here to deliver. So get ready, not only for some insights from past Monday's pod, but also on a special focus on how you can invest just like the legendary Charlie Munger himself.
Absolutely. So grab your favorite beverage. For me, it's water. Sit back and turn your financial queries into golden nuggets of knowledge. This Fi Guys Friday feedback is where your questions meet our expertise.
We do it live.
We're doing it live.
Do it live.
Yep. Good Lord. Well, that's an intro right there. I mean, there's a lot of energy in that.
That was all intro.
A lot of energy.
Now we just come back down to earth, and we got you hooked. You're already hooked, so
You're hooked. You got to stay, right?
Just wait till the end.
You got to wait till the end. You know, we got an awesome recap. We got an awesome viewer mailbag.
Oh yeah.
And we got win of the week.
Win of the week.
Yours is great.
I think it's pretty fun.
I think there's a pattern here where Chris has better wins of the week than me.
I'm a little bit older than you.
You're a little bit older than me. You got a little bit of a head start. Yours this week isn't necessarily better, but it's funnier.
Oh yeah, okay.
From my point of view, yeah. Maybe not from yours.
No, it was pretty fun.
It was yeah.
It's okay though.
It's funny though. Yeah, you'll see. I mean, you won't know till stay.
You gotta stick around. So let's go ahead and recap what we talked about on Monday. So Monday's pod was January 1st would have been Charlie Munger's 100th birthday. So we did an ode to Charlie Munger, as it were, and just saying thank you for all the wisdom that the sage of Omaha had given to us for free for so long. So the first segment, we're not going to recap the whole thing, but the first segment was really just going back and talking about who Charlie Munger was before meeting Warren Buffett and becoming the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, because he had a very long career of being a lawyer, and he was in the army, and he did so many different things. He graduated summa cum laude from freaking
Harvard.
Yeah,
not easy.
Yeah, Harvard Law, and then he ran his own practice for like 20 years, and he just happened to meet Warren Buffett at a dinner party in his hometown, and from there it was Warren that really pushed Charlie. He said, "Hey, Charlie, that lawyer stuff, it's too easy for you. That you're too smart. Let's come and do the investing side with me," which is just crazy how all this circumstance. They were only born 2 years apart in the same city. Like these two just great people.
Great investors, yeah. Yeah, he lived an interesting life.
He really did.
A very interesting life.
Yeah, and to your point last time, like we all think about like, oh, we only have one career and it's going to be for the rest of our life, but like Warren and Charlie are really great at showing us that no, you can pivot, you can change, and you don't have to be fixed at any one point of time. And I think the biggest reason they're able to make such drastic changes from being great lawyers to great investors and all the other things they've done, even great fathers, great grandfathers, all that is because they were constantly committed, both of them, especially Charlie, to lifelong learning and lifelong growth.
Absolutely.
Having that growth mindset of, I don't know it right now, but I can learn it if I dedicate my time and effort into it.
Yeah, I mean, the world was their oyster, and they just never stopped. I like one of the quotes that Charlie Munger had was, wake up, was it go to bed smarter?
Yep.
Go to bed smarter than you woke up. Yeah. You don't want to go to bed smarter.
You're dumber than you woke up.
Yeah. You don't want the opposite.
You get concussed every day.
Every day it's dumber and dumber. Oh man, yeah. Go to bed. Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat it because I'll probably butcher it, but yeah. Go to bed smarter than you woke up.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Stay learning. Yep. Yeah, very interesting guy. He served in the army, studied meteorology.
Yeah, well, I don't think he went into the army to study meteorology.
No.
I think he scored so high in his ASVAB, the army's like, you're going to study meteorology, and we're sending you to Caltech because you're that smart.
Yep. Yeah, a few steps away. Who knows? He might. What's crazy is like, and maybe if he would have joined earlier or whatnot, he could have been working on like the Oppenheimer project.
Yeah, who knows?
And Los Alamos. And
yeah, it would have been a little bit later.
Manhattan. Yeah,
it would have been a lot later.
I mean, he was 43.
Oh, it was 43. Yeah. I'm sure I was thinking about when he was born. Yeah, maybe he could have been. Who knows? I don't know. He was smart with math. I don't know if that's the same as physics.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be cool to see him in Oppenheimer.
Dude, that would have been crazy. Oh my gosh. Have you seen it yet?
I have not.
God dang it.
I'm waiting for it to come on onto like HBO or something. It'll come on eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
They just put the Barbie movie on HBO Max, and guess who got to watch the Barbie movie again? This guy.
You're a good husband.
It's funny. It's a cute movie.
It's good. I'm glad you're happy.
So it's been 3 times now that I've seen it. Like that's more times than I've watched like majority of movies. I've seen that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, getting back to Charlie Munger rather than the Barbie movies.
Yeah. I think Charlie Munger is represented by the Barbie movie.
Dude, honestly, maybe. But yeah, he's a very successful lawyer.
Very successful lawyer. But instead of like recapping that, go back to listening to that Monday pod if you want to hear his whole story. I want to talk about more Mungerisms. Like I want to go more into some Charlie quotes because I had a lot of fun going over those with you last week.
Me too. Me too.
So I found 7 more. 7 days of the week. So I found 7 more Charlie Munger quotes that we can just talk about. So I'll take the first one and we'll do what we did last time. We'll just switch back and forth, right?
Bingo, let's run it.
So first, Mungerism. To get what you want, you have to deserve what you want. The world is not yet crazy enough, or is not a crazy enough place yet to reward a whole bunch of undeserving people.
Yep. Yeah.
It's just like we talked about in the last one, like when someone asked Charlie Munger, like, how do you find a good spouse? And he said, you be deserving of a good spouse. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to find success in life, you want to find love, if you want to find joy, you need to be the kind of person that deserves that by putting in the work, by showing up, by being joyful, by doing all those things. And just like he says, the world is going to reward you with what you reward. It's kind of like that karma, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't really know if like karma is real, like the woo-woo, but I do think that people are going to get back what they give out, 100%.
Absolutely. No, I mean, there's no negative to being a good person.
No.
And good things happen to good people. And, you know, there's just, like I said, there's nothing bad about being a good person.
No.
You'll never be wrong for doing the right thing.
Yeah. In Stoicism, there's the thought of like, because there was a lot of bad people, like Nero. Nero was he was a Caesar or an emperor who was just a monster. He was very, very bad.
Yeah.
And people would often say like, why can Nero do this? And like, he's not living a life of virtue like the Stoics are, and the Stoics are dealing with all this crap that he's putting out in the world. And I can't remember which philosopher said it, but he said that we Stoics, we get to live in heaven, and we will eventually go to heaven. Nero is currently living in hell. His life is hell because he is making it hell.
Dang, that's crazy. So I wonder how many people are living in hell right now.
I don't know.
Lots, I'm sure.
But you can choose to stay in that, or you can choose to take ownership and make change. And I know that's going to be some difficult for others, but I can assure you, if you're listening to this pod, if you're watching this video, there are people who have it worse than you, who are making a better life or doing better than you. There are people who have started out in some of the worst slums of the world and have tried their hardest to get to America, to get to wherever the hell they wanted to get to make their life better. People who have grown up in slavery, like true slavery, not just like, oh, I have to work a 9 to 5, I'm a slave. No, like true slavery, like shackles, who worked hard and deserved what they got. Not the slavery part, mind you, but they worked hard to get out of that, and they got what they deserved in life.
Yeah, and they made it out. Yeah, I think it's one thing. It's like, don't put it off till tomorrow.
No.
You can't put it off. Tomorrow doesn't exist. It's only today. So make changes today, small changes, little changes, whatever changes you can to better tomorrow.
Yeah, and like memento mori, you never know when you might draw your last breath. So try to leave this world as if you were to leave tonight in the best way that you possibly can. Don't leave that project till tomorrow. Don't leave all these things tomorrow. Do the best you possibly can today, because tomorrow is not assured.
Bingo. Yeah. For next Mungerism. We need a like Charlie Munger has his Mungerisms. We need a Monzonism.
Okay.
And it doesn't work. It's not as well. It doesn't work as good. We'll figure it out.
We'll
chat GPT the hell out of it. Alright. Next.
Do it again.
For today's quote of the day. I constantly see people rise in life who are not the smartest, sometimes not even the most diligent, but they are learning machines. They go to bed every night a little wiser than when they woke up, and boy, does that help, particularly when you have a long run ahead of you. Yep. It goes back to the intro quote we were talking about, waking up early and waking up smarter than you went to bed.
Yep. And I think a lot of it, what I do like there is, I think so many people, they always say, if only I was smarter, if only these things, like, just like Charlie said right there, you don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most diligent, but you do have to show up every day. Yeah. And it might take you longer than other people. Some people might just be naturally better at learning things. Mm-hmm. It'd be like me versus, I don't know, LeBron James in like basketball. LeBron has everything on his side to be good at basketball. Mm-hmm. But could I get better than LeBron if LeBron never practiced? If he just kept all of his genetic gifts, never tried, but I dedicated my entire life to being better at basketball, I might not ever be able to dunk, but I might be able to shoot a better three than him. Mm-hmm. But something like LeBron is that he also puts in his genetic gifts with time and dedication. Mm-hmm. That's what makes him a superhero, Versus,
it's true. It's true.
But if you just say like, oh, well, I can't be smart, I can't be all these things because I'm not this. Mm-hmm. You have your own gifts. We all have our own gifts, and we can all be better. Yeah. All be better than you are. Don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were today. Be that person tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Be that person the next day. Try to get a little bit better every day. And just like Charlie says, on a long enough runway, you will get what's coming to you. Yep. You'll get the positivity that's coming to you. If you live in the negative, you'll get the negativity that's coming to you.
It's coming to you, yeah. Yeah, I like this one quote. It's not from Charlie, but I remember hearing it. And he's like, this guy describing himself, he's like, I'm not the brightest candle, but I burn the longest. Yeah. He's like, I just keep going. I just keep going. And I love that. I love that. Because I equate that for me. It's like a lot of my family, they're very smart, PhDs, doctorate degrees, all that. Yeah, very, very intelligent people in their own regard. I don't have a PhD, but I am, I'm not an idiot. But I find that I never quit. Mm-hmm. That's like my superpower. I just never, ever, ever quit. I never, ever quit. And I burn the longest. And that's my superpower.
There you go.
Yeah. Would you like to read the next one?
I do. It's a short one.
Alrighty.
What is my secret to success? One word. Snacks. Rational.
What'd
you say?
Snacks.
Snacks are my secret.
Snacks. Yep. Good motivation tool. Yep. Rational. Yeah. I mean, that explains damn near their entire business philosophy. Mm-hmm. It was a rational business built on rational companies making rational investments.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really, really liked about watching Warren and Charlie every year when they would do their Berkshire meetings, is just watching how both of them, they were just so unemotional. Yeah. And I think it's important to be able to show emotion, to convey emotion in certain regards, but when it comes down to business, when it comes down to the brass tacks of we need to get this done, being able to detach from the situation, get your emotions out of it, and just remain rational while everyone else is being irrational. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you watch these guys, like during 2008, when everything was going to hell in a handbag, and like everyone thought Lehman Brothers just failed, all of banking is going to collapse. Yeah, Charlie and Warren were just like, cool, we've seen this before. They put their money to work, and they ended up purchasing quite a few companies, and they just said this is another portion of history. They've seen this at that point. They've already seen that so many times, and they just got to sit there while everyone was losing their minds, being calm, being the calm in the storm. Mm-hmm. And so many people flock to them.
Yeah, it's true. The irony of it's like, they actually have seen it before because they're like 100 years old. Because they've seen it, actually. Yeah, they've been through literally the Depression as children, war, like many wars, like 7 wars, 2000, 2001, 2008, COVID. I mean, they've seen everything.
Yeah, they've seen it all. And then I think they came back and they're telling us, like, we've been through the jungle. We've seen all this stuff. Yeah. And we're here to tell you, like, it's the same thing. And every time people constantly say, like, oh, Charlie and Warren, they've lost it. They've lost their investing edge. This time it's different. This time, this time GameStop's going to go to the moon. This time things are different. But it's the same exact story over and over and over again. And Charlie and Warren are both the turtles, and they're just they're biding their time, and they're patient. You can talk as much crap as you want on them, and they're cool with it because they know in the long run they're going to win.
Yeah. They just don't lose.
No.
Tortoise in the hare. They are the tortoise. For the next quote from the Mungerisms, I believe in discipline of mastering. Excuse me. I believe in the discipline of mastering the best that other people have ever figured out. I don't believe in just sitting down and trying to dream of it all by yourself. Nobody is that smart. Could you explain that one to me?
Yeah, of course. So I think what he's saying is, in this one, other people have already figured out life. Mm-hmm. If you go back and you read books and you look at all these other things, there's been great thinkers who have figured out joy. They figured out happiness. They figured out contempt. They figured out how to create a successful business, how to invest. Mm-hmm. Charlie's saying there, no one's so smart that they can figure out all those things. Yeah. But we have the wisdom of all people that have come before us in the form of books, in the form of the knowledge they have passed to us. And if you think you're so freaking smart that you can figure all things out on your own just because you are who you are, you're dumb. Because all the information is right there at your fingertips. All you have to do is seek it out, take the knowledge that they have worked their entire life to take and bring it in. I mean, when I think of this, I think of like the Buddha, and I think of Marcus Aurelius, like these two men that I study religiously, like every day, and try to take things from them, like from Marcus Aurelius, and like looking at the things and his rationality of the world and how to look at the world. It would take me a lifetime. It takes most people a lifetime to figure out some of the things he has taken. I figured it out in my 20s. Yeah. You know, the Buddha, and like being able to be content with what you have, and that all of life suffering is a manifestation of your own mind. You know, most people never come to that realization. No. But you're able to take that knowledge that these people had damn near over 2,000 years ago in two separate places. Yeah. You know, so that they weren't talking to each other, but they came to the same realizations. Yeah. You can take that knowledge that is timeless knowledge and bring it to your own life, incorporate it to your life, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. No. The wheel has already been made for you. Just take it and roll it.
Yeah. I think it's, oftentimes we neglect how much information is truly out there. And really, our problems are not as complicated as we think they are. Yep. And they've already been solved thousands of times, if not millions of times over. And dedicating, lifelong learning like Charlie did has really unlimited upside. Yeah. Unlimited upside. And yeah, you got to use your resources.
You really do, and the information's out there. And if you want to say like, "Oh, it's not out there for me," it is. It's on YouTube. You're watching stuff right now. You can find it. I mean, if you want to read Marcus Aurelius's meditations, read some Buddhism books, read whatever interests you. It's all out there for you to have. You don't need to come up with every idea. I mean, every single idea that's ever come out has been someone took an idea from somebody and then just added their own spin to it, added a little bit more. Exactly. That is how knowledge persists. That's how it invades. Today's time, while it might seem different in a lot of ways, it's very similar to every other time. Yeah. One thing, I like to study also astrophysics.
Interesting.
My sister-in-law is an astrophysicist, so I like to talk to her about that, and she wipes the floor with me. But one thing that I really like about astrophysics is we all think that we're the center of the universe and that our world is so grand and that everything that happens to us has some profound meaning. But when I study astrophysics, it's very humbling. The same way like jiu-jitsu is humbling to me, in that you think that you're the center of the universe and things are so important. But when I started to study astrophysics, I realized that I am such a minute portion of this entire cosmos. What happens to me in my life affects nothing in the grand scheme of things. When I think like, oh my goodness, I got a traffic ticket, or I got a parking ticket, like my world's ending, like the galaxy is going to implode.
Is that the sun coming towards us?
The sun coming towards us. It's going to blow up right now. Yeah. But everything continues to persist. Yeah. Nothing changes.
Life goes on.
Life goes on.
Life finds a way. Yeah. A little Jurassic Park quote right there. Yeah. No, that's true. It's not that serious.
No, it's not.
I think a lot of us take ourselves too seriously.
We really do, and that's why we always talk about like make it fun, make it a game.
Make it fun, make it a game. That way you talk about it all the time. Gamify it.
You screw it up, like, okay, I lost this one. I'll make it on the next one. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Next Mungerism.
Yes.
Remember that reputation. Remember that reputation.
We got it on camera. I always do it off camera, and I get flamed for it. It's nice to have that in the opposite direction.
Remember that reputation and integrity are your most valuable assets. You can be lost in a heartbeat.
So true. That's in today's world more than ever. It's so true.
Yep.
You say one thing wrong in the pod, and
you say reputations.
Reputations.
And you're done.
Oh, dude. I remember when we were recording the. What was it? It was the disclaimer for the pod. Oh man, I hate a word that was just I messed it up so bad. Suitable, yes. Make sure your investments are suitable, and it was so funny, dude. Oh, Chris was on the floor.
There was one time we were talking about something, and I think we did like quick math, and I said like, I forgot what I said. It was something very simple, and I think the answer was 10,080 or 10,058.
Yeah.
And I just said like 10,000. I just said like rough 10,000.
Yeah.
And I got torn up in the comments.
Dude.
They're like, it's 10,058, stupid. It's like I said it's like 10,000.
Like 10,000. What the heck is $58? Come on, guys. Like,
but yeah, like there goes. Like, your reputation and integrity could be just torn apart in a heartbeat. Like one mistake. And is that fair? No. Like, you have to remember that people are people. And like, even like here at us in our pod, we do this live. Like,
yeah, we are people.
We're people too, and that's okay. But if you build up a life of integrity and reputation, you can also weather the storms of when you have a screw up, like forgetting to leave out 58 on a digit,
Yeah.
or saying suitable or reputation or whatever.
Yes.
That's okay, because people know that, like, they're humans. They're humans just like us, and they get to compare their insides to our outsides, and our outsides also screw up too, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay to make mistakes.
No, it's okay, because that's how we learn, and now I know not to say reputations again.
and anytime I see suitable, I just, it's like Vietnam flashbacks.
And now we learned that whenever we do math on the pod,
Use a calculator.
we use a calculator, because you're gonna get torn up.
Yep.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yep. Cannot go so fast. Oh, man. So getting on to the next Mungerism. We're still talking about Charlie Munger here. Hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast. If you guys have so far, make sure to give it a like and a subscribe. And we're not done with the podcast. I just thought, since we're having a good laugh, give it a like, give it a subscribe. But getting on to the next Mungerism, remember that reputation and integrity is the one that I just, we just talked about.
Yep, it's the
and
next
that your memory sometimes goes. It's for my section of the portion of the pod. It's the work on your desk. Do well with what you already have, and more will come in. Yep.
I think so many people, they focus on, like, oh, if only I had more work, then I could do a better job. It's like, no one's giving you more work, because you currently suck at what you're currently doing. Because you don't deserve more work.
No.
You're going to get what you get out of life. If you're doing half-assed work, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
What's that from?
I first heard it from Taylor Swift, but in one of her songs. But it's an old quote. But like, it is what it is. If you play stupid games, if you say, like, I deserve more, I want these things, you're going to get dumb things. You're going to get more work that you don't want.
Yeah.
But if you're deserving of work, if you put in good actual work, then you're going to be rewarded with more work, more responsibility, more chance for promotion, more of whatever you want. But you need to first show up and do good at what you have.
Yeah, I mean, a prime example is like your company, Mun's on Wealth. It's like you don't do a whole bunch of like getting more clients. They just appear because you do good work. Your reputation, it holds its weight and value, and people spread the word because of how good your work is.
Yeah, even look at like the Fi Guys. I mean, we have done literally nothing to promote this.
Yeah,
we just put out our videos. We hope for the best, and things kind of come back in the way that it is. We just show that we're persistent. We're going to show up. We're going to do our best every week and try to give you, as you listener, as good of information as we possibly can. And I think on the long run, we're going to get rewarded for that.
Oh, absolutely.
It might take time, and that's okay, because we're just like Charlie here. We're the tortoise.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
We love that. And we love the journey.
We do.
We love the journey. I was actually just going to look up, because we've been putting out a lot of shorts recently. And I was wondering, how many views do you think our channel has so far?
I have no idea.
I haven't looked at it in a long time. Let's see. How about that? In the last 28 days, 19,000 views.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty cool.
For someone who has no idea what he's doing.
Well, in the lifetime of our channel, 72,000 views.
That's cool. So we've reached 72,000 people?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
And that's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we post on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok.
I totally forgot we did that.
Yeah.
We should check those.
Yeah.
And see how that's all going.
Oh man, it just shows like
don't tweet at us or twat at us or whatever the hell it is.
Or X at us.
Or X at us. Don't do any of that stuff. Just if you want to reach out, you can email us you can go to thefiveguys.com. You can reach out that way, or you can get us in the YouTube comments. That's the only stuff we check, or I check. I don't know anything else.
Email, and on our website.
Yeah, on our website.
It's awesome.
All right.
You got the last quote?
I got the last one. It's a longer one. All right.
Let's hear it.
A lot of people with high IQs are terrible investors because they have terrible temperament. And that is why we say that having certain kind of temperament is more important than brains. You need to keep raw, irrational emotion under control. You need patience and discipline and the ability to take losses and adversity without going crazy. You need the ability to not be driven crazy by extreme success. I think there's a lot of wisdom you can glean from that.
God, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. So many lessons in there, not just for investing. I mean, keeping your temperament under control goes a lot in a marriage.
Yep.
You know, with kids, with traffic tickets, just in everything. I mean, that was beautiful. I think you guys should rewind that and listen to that one again, because Chris did a great job reading that one, and that's an amazing quote right there.
Yeah, I think it's just really important too that, just like Charlie says, and just like I say all the time, like, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. Like, in majority of being good with money, being good with family, with fitness, with all these things, it has nothing to do with you having some profound knowledge. Maybe 20% of it has to do with knowledge. The other 80 to, I would argue, even higher, maybe 90% has to do with your systems and your habits. The showing up every day, the having the patience, but more importantly, the discipline to come every day and try to do it a little bit better. Because it's that 1% compounded every single day. Shoot, 1.5% every day that's going to make you a superhuman, rather than just, I need to be from here to Warren Buffett right now. Yeah, that's what leads to extreme success. The showing up every day with the right temperament. Because oftentimes the smartest people in the room, they don't have that temperament. Yeah, you can even look at like Elon Musk. Love Elon Musk, really do. I'm reading one of his books right now. The guy is a monster as like a manager.
Yeah, he's hard.
Yeah, he's like really hard.
Like a Steve Jobs type.
Yeah, and that's good because he has the drive to go through it and go through those things, but like people do not want to be around him. So what are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah. Man wants to get to Mars.
Once he gets to Mars, he has drive, he has discipline, he has all those things. But I mean, I just look at it and say, like, would I be willing to sacrifice the relationships and all the things? Yeah, I'm not. But he's driven by a different thing. He wants to save freaking humanity. Yeah. So like, I'm so glad that there are people like him out in the world.
Definitely.
I'm just not that guy.
Yeah, we're just not that guy, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you want to stay at home, you want to run your business from home, you want to raise a family one day, you want to take lots of trips, be a good dad, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
It's like I think so many people when they're young, they want to leave their name. They want their name to be remembered. And I always think of that quote I told you from Diogenes and Alexander the Great. Are you Alexander the Great? Do you want your name to remain in history, or do you want to be Diogenes, the Stoic philosopher who said, or when Alexander said, "I am the man who conquered the world," Diogenes said, "I am the man who has conquered the need to conquer the world." So who are you? Do you want to be that person whose name is recognized because of the things that you did? Or do you want to be the person who's okay with not having that? But I would argue that your life is going to live on because of the relationships you invested in. There's people like Elon who are going to remember for all the things that he's done, getting us to Mars, Tesla, all these amazing things. But will his family remember him ideally? I don't know. But I would rather be remembered by my future kids, by my wife, by the people that I've impacted positively. That's the mark I want to leave on the world, and I think that mark will ripple more over time.
Yeah, it's all about what's your goals are, what's meaningful to you. And everybody's different, and I think that's a beautiful thing about life is no one life is lived twice.
Yeah, and to bring it back around, that was Charlie's legacy. Is that Charlie wanted to be remembered, and Warren too. They've mentioned this multiple times. They want to be remembered as teachers, people who have gone through the muck, who have gone on the journey, gone through the forest, and they didn't stay there. They didn't get through the journey, and they found nirvana, or they found what's that place? El Diablo, not El Diablo.
The devil. They found the devil.
What's that other one? El Dorado.
El Dorado.
Okay. They found El Dorado, and they know how to get there. But instead of staying there themselves, they came back to bring more people along with them. Yes. That's the idea of like the Buddha and the Bodhisattva. We can talk about that later. That's more Buddhism crap.
I would love to do a whole... I don't know if we should do a podcast about Buddhism or whatnot, but I want to talk more about it. Okay. And I want to spread more of that for everyone. Yep. I think it's helpful.
So we get to 5 Friday feedback. I know we have a listener that really wants to learn some... He wants to get learned from us.
He wants to get learned. We've been to the place.
We do.
And we're coming back. We got the knowledge. So, 5 Friday feedback, viewer mailbag time. It's that time of the week again.
Best time of the year.
Best time of the year. Best time of the Friday. All right. Howdy, Chris and Dom. Howdies. Letter. Seeking guidance on investing $100K, feeling lost in a financial jungle. Interesting.
Well, we are here with the flashlights. We're going to help you through it.
Exactly. When I think of financial jungle, I think of like trees with like giant leaves, But the leaves are like giant monies. Like little dollar bills.
It'd be a fun jungle to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, just cut. Nice.
Deforest this one.
Oh, that's terrible. Alrighty, we'll take a quick swig of water before I dive into this financial jungle. I don't know if the water's good in the jungle, so we gotta take water where we can. Alrighty. It's time. I've been an avid listener of the Five Guys podcast, thank you very much, and your insights have been invaluable in shaping my financial journey. I'm reaching out today because I find myself at a crossroads, and I could really use some guidance. Over the past 5 years, I've diligently saved up $100,000. It's pretty awesome.
Nice, good job.
A milestone I'm quite proud of. Inspired by the wisdom of Charlie Munger, I now stand on the threshold of a new chapter in my financial life. However, I must admit I feel a bit lost. The advice of Charlie Munger to save up $100,000 was relatively straightforward, but now comes the part that has me scratching my head on what to do with it. I've come across some suggestions on investing in high-yield dividend stocks, and the concept of generating passive income is certainly appealing. But here's the catch. I have no idea how to pick good investments.
Been there.
Yep, we have all been there, yep. In the world of stocks, the world of stocks feels like a dense forest. Now I get the jungle reference. I want to make an informed choice, one that aligns with my financial goals and risk tolerance, but the sheer volume of information out there is overwhelming. God, isn't that the truth? I'm reaching out to you, the experts, with humble requests for guidance. Could you share some insights on how to navigate an intricate world of high dividend stocks? What criteria should I be looking at? How do I minimize risk? How should I invest like Charlie and Warren? Your podcast has become a beacon of financial wisdom for me, and I trust your expertise. I really appreciate that. That warms my heart a little bit. I believe that with the right knowledge, I can turn this $100,000 into a strategic investment that aligns with the principles that Charlie Munger advocates. Thank you for considering my question, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the upcoming episode of the Five Guys. From Charlie Munger's words echoing in my ear, 100K saved, now the path is unclear.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know about experts, but we are definitely here to try.
Yeah. If you heard me chuckling towards the end of that, when I was first reading through this letter, when I got to the part where it's like from, I just read from Charlie Munger, and it was just like it cracked me up so much. So I was like, he's back.
He's back. He wrote to us before he passed away. He likes us so much.
He wants to know what he should do with his 100K.
Yeah, good to you, Charlie.
I love it. I thank you for staying on the path, Charlie. Yeah. Thank you for teaching us so much and getting through that jungle. So
there's a lot here.
First, congrats on the 100K.
Dude, yeah, 100%. That's 5 years, 100,000. That's $20,000 a year. That's awesome. Like you almost maxed out your 401k each year. Boom.
Bang.
But it does sound to me like, is the $100,000 just straight up in cash? Because it sounds like it might be.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear anything about that.
It wasn't, like we said, the more details we get from you guys, the better information we can give you.
Yeah. But either way, even if it's not invested, even if it's just $100,000 sitting in cash, you are very well on your way to FI. And it sounds like if we can make this a little bit better in order to get you there even faster, right? So remember, all this informational, educational purposes only. Listen to our disclaimers at the beginning and the end, all that good stuff. But let's go to get into it. First off, you said that Charlie Munger said that you want to save 100K.
Yeah.
I don't know this advice.
I've never heard that one either.
I've never heard that either. But either way, you heard something about Charlie Munger saying save $100,000 before you can invest or something. That's not. I don't know where he said that.
But we also haven't consumed every second of his public life.
Yeah, I haven't. But whatever you took, that's great. I'm glad you saved $100,000. What I would recommend for you, because it sounds like there's a lot of things going on in your life. We've talked about it before. Like I recommend like a passive index, like an ETF, maybe like an S&P 500, VTSAX, VTI, maybe something like that. Going into how do we invest like Warren and Charlie Munger is a very deep pod that's probably going to take it'd probably take like 5 podcasts just on that one subject, and I would still not do it any justice. The way they invest is very, very deep. It is, I like to think of it as an inch wide, mile deep. That is the way they invest. It is very difficult. There's a lot to get into. But to be fair, that's the way that I first learned how to invest, was by value investing, the same way that Warren and Charlie do things. And I was very shaped by Charlie Munger in that we buy good businesses or wonderful businesses at a fair price rather than fair businesses at a wonderful price. So I've been very much shaped by the wisdom of Warren and Charlie that really has taken a lot of what I do. But for you getting started, I would definitely recommend a passive index, because it's going to take you way too much time to get comfortable to be able to start investing, and that time is money. Like, you don't want to have this 100,000 just sitting there for another. I was investing for like a decade before I even became an advisor, before I felt comfortable telling people how to do it. You know, a real expert is someone who has gone through the jungle, just like you're talking about, gone through the journey, made every single mistake, every pitfall, every single snake bite, and now wants to come back and tell you what not to do on your journey there. So I have made all those mistakes. Now I'm here to try to help you as best as I possibly can. So I'm not sure how young you are as well, but you said you want to focus on high dividend stocks. I'm guessing that's something also you got from maybe Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger was not a big dividend person, though. He did not like to invest in dividend stocks. Again, he was purchasing good companies at a fair value, and he was more about the growth. Every time that Charlie and Warren don't really like giving dividends or receiving dividends, because that's more taxes they have to pay on it. A dividend is very tax inefficient because the company has to pay dividends or has to pay capital gains tax, and then you have to pay capital gains tax on that. So it's double taxed.
Yeah.
So they would much rather have companies that are reinvesting the money, not paying taxes on it, and then putting it into the company to appreciate the stock more, appreciate the company more. That's what Charlie and Warren would look more for. So it sounds like you might be just a little bit confused as to what Charlie and Warren are doing and how they actually evaluate investments. So the way they do it, it's called value investing. I'm not going to talk about all of it, but I will give you just the 4 things that they're looking for. Okay, and this is the way that I learned it. I call it the 4 M's. 4 M's stand for meaning, management, moat, margin of safety. So what do I mean by that? Meaning is understanding. Warren Buffett and both Charlie Munger were very big on you have to be able to understand the investment that you're looking into. Understand the investment, not only as an investment, but as a company. So Charlie was given the nickname by Warren Buffett as the abominable no man. So every time that Warren would come to Charlie with like a new idea of an investment, Charlie Munger was very known for just being like, too hard, no. No, not going to do that, no. Because he knew that why try to go outside of your wheelhouse? That's one thing that I really respect about Charlie and Warren, is that they realize what they know, but more importantly, they know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And they don't try to pontificate as to what things are going to be if they don't know them. So first off, meaning, you have to be able to understand it and be able to also invert it and like know it inside and out. Why is this company going to succeed? If it doesn't succeed, why is it going to fail? Next thing is management. This is the one from Charlie that I really like, a quote. It was, we want to buy a good company that, a company so good that an idiot can run it, because someday an idiot will.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
So you want to make sure you find a good company with good management, because one day an idiot's going to run it, and even if an idiot is running it now, Warren and Charlie would buy these companies, get rid of the old management team if they were terrible, and then bring in new management team and they'd be able to run it much more effectively. But management is really, really big. You want to make sure that management is aligned with shareholders. So you don't want like CEOs and like all these things that are just lining their own pockets.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing in, what are they called? Slash and grab CEOs. So they'll like come in to like a company that's already like failing. They'll write off everything. They'll take their golden parachute and they'll move on to the next company. And they'll basically like leave the shareholders, leave the stock owners holding the bag. Yikes. So you want to make sure you have good management, that their incentives are aligned. So basically, I always like to look for companies with the management is they're incentivized through stock options. So the way they make more money is by actually building the stock up on a long-term perspective too, because you can pump and dump where you're just trying to build a stock up really, really quick and then get out. That happens a lot too. So there's a lot to look here. The third M is moat. It was Warren Buffett that said we want to find a company that has an impenetrable moat. And just like a moat that's around a castle, we're trying to look for moats in the companies. For example, there's a bunch of different moats. The moats that I really like are like Microsoft. Microsoft has a very strong moat in that it's already integrated into pretty much everything. Adobe has another one that's really, really good, and that's already inside of all of the software of like people's computers.
Like Google.
Yep, Google has one. Google has
Search engine,
they have a
YouTube.
brand moat. Coca-Cola has a brand moat and a secrets moat. There's a bunch of different types of moats, but you don't want to have something that's like very, very simple that someone could just come and replicate and do better than you and then take you out. You know, the best like moat company is railroad stocks. Because in order to have a new railroad come in, you have to build new tracks, which tracks are already there. So good luck. Good luck getting everything zoned to put in new railroads.
Interesting.
Like railroad, like true railroad companies, like that actually owns the road, not the train, the road, the rail. Those are like impenetrable. They have a very, very strong moat. There's no way in heck someone's going to come in, except for maybe Elon Musk with his underground ones.
Yeah.
But it takes like an idea once a century that comes around. And then the final M is margin of safety. Again, we want to buy a wonderful company at a fair price. So we want to try to wait for times where things are turbulent, like COVID, like 2008, when companies that are fairly valued, that should be worth a lot, their prices are brought down to earth because everyone else is panicking, thinking that the sky is falling and that things are never going to come around because, quote unquote, this time is different.
Yeah.
That's when you want to buy those companies because you never know when is the worst time. But if you buy with a margin of safety, then even if you're wrong and you're not at the bottom, you still bought a wonderful company at a good price rather than a okay company at a great price.
Bingo. Yeah.
So meaning, management, moat, margin of safety, that is value investing. That's one of the biggest things that Charlie Munger taught Warren Buffett. Because Warren Buffett originally learned from the school of Benjamin Graham. Benjamin Graham was the father of modern day value investing, and he taught Warren Buffett how to do it, which is basically you're going to buy a distressed company as it's dying because it costs so little. And he called it cigar butt investing during the during
Great Depression.
During the Great Depression, everyone smoked cigars, and the hope would always be that as someone was finishing their cigar, they would throw it on the floor, and then you'd be able to pick it up and get one more puff out of that cigar. Gross habit, I understand that, but that's what they're saying. That's the way that Warren learned how to invest, is try to find companies that are like on their last puff of a smoke before they die. It was Charlie that said, don't do that anymore. Let's focus on buying great companies that have enduring power, that have meaning, management, moat, margin of safety, and holding them for the long run.
Yeah. They're usually not buying flashy companies.
No, they're not. I mean, his biggest flashy company was
Coca-Cola.
No, it was Apple when he purchased.
Oh,
Apple.
yeah, that's right.
Apple's been his biggest winner, but for the longest time he said, like, I will never buy technology stocks; they're too complicated. But to his credit, he was willing to learn and actually learn about it and actually invest in it. It's been his biggest winner. Charlie Munger, one of his biggest ones was Alibaba, which at this point has been a loser at the time of recording. But who knows? I think at some point it will turn around. I own a little bit of it. Not saying you should, but I do. So to our listener, please keep up the great work. You've saved $100,000 at this point. I would definitely recommend that if it's not getting invested, get that invested ASAP. And if you want to learn more about how to invest like Warren and Charlie, my place where I would start recommending doing that is go back and read every single shareholder letter from Warren Buffett. He has basically since 1968, I think, written a shareholder letter every year. You can go online. The website's terrible. Just Google it. Terrible website. But you can see every single one he's ever written. That is such good wisdom that you can just take from him because he's telling you every single year what mistakes he's made, what things he's done right. And you can learn so much just from reading his words to his shareholders saying, and one thing I love about Warren and Charlie is they both took responsibility. They took 100% ownership. If they screwed something up, they were very quick to say, like, we screwed up. We thought this. We were wrong. And you get to see how these things unfold over time. So we're wishing you the best of luck for here from Arizona, and just keep it going, man. You definitely got this. If you ever need more help, you can always reach out to Chris at monsonwealth.com or just reach out to us in the comments. We're always here for you.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Now I think it's time we get on to the win of the week.
Win of the week.
Alrighty. I'm going to go first. Okay. I'm going to go first on this one. So for this week's win of the week for me, I've recently come back across some information that a lot of ultra successful people have three common traits, right? One, they think they're better than everyone, or they think that they can do anything.
Okay.
Right? Two, they think that they're not enough, and they don't think they oftentimes think that it's just enough is never enough.
Okay.
Right? And then 3, they have really good impulse control.
Okay.
And I'm already a master at the first 2. Oh man. This is why yeah, it's good to have an ego internally but not externally. Good.
Yes.
Yeah, if you know me and if you've seen any of the pods, you know that I'm not the most like boisterous, like egotistical maniac that this quote just exposed me to be. But number 3, impulse control. That's one thing I want to get better on. And I find myself sometimes on social media maybe a little bit too long, or working on a task that I know is not the highest priority for too long. And one thing that I've started doing is just delaying the gratifications, where it's like, okay, I wanna have this like little chocolate candy, the one I got you for Christmas, and I'll pick it up and I'll put it on my desk and be like, you know what, I'll have it, but I'll have it in 10 minutes rather than right now. And then I'll do my work. 10 minutes will go by and be like, you know what, I could go another 10 minutes. I don't really need it right now. And another 10 minutes goes by, and if I feel like I deserve this, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. And it's kind of retrained my brain to just really focus on what's important to me.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really want to get better on this year is impulse control and really being in control of my life. Because if you're not in control of your life, your habits, your day-to-day work, you're not in control of anything.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you want to do these things for yourself, and then I think so many people, they're willing to fail themselves. They're okay with that.
Yeah.
But I would say the person that you never want to fail is yourself, because once you become that person that constantly fails himself, then it just becomes easier.
Yeah.
You know, it just becomes easier to not live up to what you tell yourself you're going to do. Yeah. And then you start failing yourself, and you start failing other people.
Yeah. You lose trust in yourself.
Yep. And then other people lose trust in you. You know, if you say like, "Oh, I'm going to get these things done," and you don't. Well, guess what? I'm not going to trust you to come back and give you more.
Exactly.
Just like Charlie said.
Yeah.
So, what can you say the 3 things again?
Yeah, so the 3 things are they think they're better than everyone.
Okay.
They have crippling insecurities.
Okay.
And they have great impulse control.
Okay. I would say for number 1, I think you're better. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I think
No.
I think I'm way dumber than most people. I honestly do.
Yeah, like I don't think I'm smarter than you. Like you would mop the floor with me and like in a lot of the financial stuff because you've dedicated your life to it, you know?
Well, I want to be successful. I'm saying like, I don't have that. I don't think I have that thought of you're smarter than everyone else.
Not smarter, but it's more of like
I can succeed if I
can
try?
see I could succeed in
Oh,
anything.
okay, then I got
so
that. Okay.
I can, if I really put all my effort into becoming a financial advisor, I would become a great financial advisor.
Okay, I like
Same
that.
for like if I wanted to be a race car driver or, you know, something else. We could just dedicate our life to it.
Yep.
There would be no
Okay,
no
so
issue.
you have like that growth mindset of not like I will be successful just because of who I am, but I am willing to put in the time and effort and dedication to become successful.
We're willing to do whatever it takes to become the best versions of ourselves.
I feel that. So we got 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 is I feel like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
That's
been
my
there.
yep.
Both of us have been there.
My therapist will get you going on that. And then number 3 is you have good impulse control, which I think I do.
You have great impulse control. Yeah.
One thing, so what you just said there about like I'll have it in 10 minutes, I do that all the time. So, like I said, I don't have sweets during the weekdays. It's a rule. But there are some times that like my body's just craving it, and I need it. So what I do is I tell myself I can have whatever sweet I want in 10 minutes, but I also need to drink 8 ounces of water.
That's good.
So I'll drink 8 ounces of water, then I wait 10 minutes every time. I've never wanted that thing. Most of the time that I want something, I'm just thirsty. Like,
That's funny.
Like most of the time, I'm just thirsty.
That's funny.
I also do that for like working out too. So I always tell myself like if I don't want to work out, I don't want to cold plunge, I don't want to do something. If I'm feeling sick or like I'm injured, obviously there's something there. But if I just don't want to do it, or I'm really sore today, I'll say tomorrow. If I still feel tomorrow that I don't want to work out, I get a break tomorrow. But today I will work out. Today I will cold plunge. But if I don't want to do it tomorrow, then I won't. But then every night, I'm very happy that Asmi did it, and I know that tomorrow I'm gonna have to have the exact same talk with me.
Yeah. You never have 2 bad days in a row.
No. Not very often.
No.
And it's every day. Like I wake up for that cold plunge. I mean, there's.
And it was cold this morning.
Oh my gosh, 37 degrees. But like there's mornings. Every morning I wake up at 4 a.m. and I walk around the house, and I mean I have a new channel that I'm going to be starting, which I'll announce next week. And I get inside there every day at like 4:40, 4:30 because there's like 30 minutes or 40 minutes of me walking around trying to convince myself to go get in that damn water. All right, so my win of the week.
Yep.
So, talking about the cold plunge there.
Yes, sir.
I recently purchased a new deep freezer, which I converted into a cold plunge. This deep freezer is double the size of my old deep freezer. My old one was only 7 cubic feet. So, if you saw me in it, which I will tell you my channel next week, I looked like a giant in this bad boy. Like, I was hunched over and like my shoulders were out and I couldn't really fit in there.
It was huge.
It made me look big. It made
me look massive, yeah.
Massive. It was just that the thing was small. So I purchased one that's double the size now. 14 and like more than double actually, like 14.8 cubic feet. The thing is giant.
It's massive. You could hold a party in there.
I could. We could all hop inside there. Yeah.
Cold plunge.
A cold plunge party. But I was able to purchase this thing. This thing's normally like $800 and $900. I got it for $380.
Let's go.
Yeah, I had to drive down to Mesa to get it.
Nice.
And it was
I bet you were excited to get it home.
Oh yeah, I was super excited.
You're
I was very excited.
Yeah,
but it was. So I got it home. I recocked everything, resealed everything, filled up with water. I got it going in there. Sadly, so I saved so much money, right? I saved like $400 on this. Very happy. I get home and I'm setting up the cold plunge, and while the water is cooling, I go and check my mail, and I have this strange letter from Paradise Valley, and I'm like, what is this? And it's addressed to me, so I open it up, and I'm looking at a photo or 3 photos of myself on a road, and it says that you owe the city of Paradise Valley $300 for speeding. So immediately, the $400 that I had just saved on like buying this cold plunge just went away. It was snatched from me.
Oh no.
So I have a win of the week and a loss of the week in that I won by getting the cold plunge, and I lost by getting a ticket. But the big thing on this is like, I was so upset, man. I was mad. I was like, damn it, like they got me. But then I thought about it, and I was like, am I gonna let this ruin my day? Like.
Yeah.
Am I going to let this ruin my day? Like, I was having a really good day.
Yeah.
I already got my cold plunge. It's getting set up. And instead of focusing on what I didn't have, which was $300 at this point, because I just lost to the ticket, I got to focus on what I did have. I had the ability to pay the ticket in full. Yep. It could have been worse. I could have purchased the cold plunge or the deep freezer at full price and got the ticket.
Yeah, it's like $1,200 right there.
Yeah, at least I got that win there. So I got to focus, and it got to give me a good like stoic reminder in that no one's perfect here, but we get to work, and like that's why it's a practice, right? Financial discipline, stoicism, all these things, they're practices. You're never going to be perfect at it, but every time that you face adversity, rather than saying, why did this happen to me? Say, I'm so lucky that this did happen to me, because now I get to practice this virtue.
Yeah.
Thankfully I'm the one who gets to endure this because I've practiced my whole life for this moment.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I like that. Turning a negative into a positive.
Yep. And I still have to go to driving school. So.
Do you really?
Yeah, they made me pay the ticket and go to driving school.
No way.
Yeah, the thing said. I don't know. I'm waiting for an email. It is what it is. I think I'm gonna do it virtually though, so I'll turn it on and like do other stuff.
That's wild.
I was only going 12 miles over the speed limit too. And I used to think that traffic lights would only do it like as it's going from like yellow to red and like flash.
Yeah.
There was no flash, there was no nothing. It was broad daylight, and like the light was like solid green, not turning. No. So they must just have lights on, or like the camera lights with it on all the time. My wife also got a ticket from there like a year ago too, so she refuses to drive there. I'm like, and I told her, I'm like, just don't drive. Like, you shouldn't be running red lights anyways. And so I didn't run a red light. I'm like, then why did it get you? Yeah. And now I got one.
Now I got you. Damn.
Now it got me.
Dang. Yeah. Drive the speed limit, guys. Drive.
I'm not gonna stop me.
Yeah. I'll be the voice of caution. I drive like an old man.
I do not.
I drive my Buick very safely, very slowly.
10 miles over the speed limit should not be a crime.
Someone cut me off yesterday. Yeah.
Did you fight them? In the streets?
They wish.
In the streets.
Followed them home. Anyway.
Anyway. I don't want to
meet me outside.
I want to admit to that on camera.
No, I didn't follow home.
All right. Well, I say we close it out for the week, and we will see you guys on Monday. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Yeah. I very much enjoy our Friday feedbacks because it's a time for us to give back to the community, but also it's a good time for us to chat.
Yeah.
We get to bring in a lot more philosophy,
yeah,
a lot more other things, and just kind of our interests more into the podcast.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. I love the Fridays. I love the Fridays. But yeah, I think that's it for today's podcast, but
Yeah,
we have one more thing.
Yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment for next week. And then remember the fee for the show. If you guys found some value today, or we made you laugh, we made you cry, whatever it is that we made you do, go ahead and tell your friend about the Five Guys podcast. Bring a friend along with us. This journey is great. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go farther, go together. And this journey of financial independence is not a fast journey. It is a far journey. So you want to go with a friend. So tell somebody about us, and we'll see you on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend. Later.
Peace.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.